Hello, we are Football Couple.
Hello.
And today we're going to be showing every single Match Attax 100 club that has been released for the 1920 season. So there were 3 collections released that contained 100 clubs, and of course the first one being the Match Attax main collection, which was released all the way back in August. And the Champions League will end this season, this August, so it's been an entire year for this season, which is crazy. I don't think we'll ever have a season like this again.
Yeah, I really hope not.
But for this collection, we did get the standard 1100 clubs, as you would expect in a main collection. And the design this year, we have to say, is probably our favourite 100 club design, with the Champions League blue holographic in the background. Absolutely awesome. So the first 100 club we have is the goalkeeper, and they've gone with Alisson, the Champions League winner, of course, and now Premier League winner. And it's one of 3 Liverpool players in these 100 clubs. So do you think that's the right choice? I mean, I guess they did have to go with the champions, and he was a massive part in Liverpool winning the Champions League. So probably a good choice. But then we have Varane for Real Madrid, and I'm not sure how far they got in the Champions League, but they definitely was not in the semi-finals. So a strange choice to pick a Real Madrid defender, and maybe they could have gone with Ramos instead of Varane. But 15 million he's going to cost you if you want to include him in your team. And then again, here is another Liverpool player, another massive contributor to them winning the Champions League. It is Van Dijk, 15 million again. Had to be, and it maybe even could have been the 101. He was that influential on the team, perhaps.
Yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see a defensive 101.
Yep. And then next we have Laporte, knocked out by Tottenham, of course. So did you think a Man City defender deserves a 100 club?
I'm not sure really. I mean, he is quite a key player for Man City, so I guess you have that aspect, but there's a few others it could have been, maybe. Yeah,
other teams maybe have got better defenders than Laporte. Let us know what you think in the comments. And then we go on to midfielders. So we have Kane, probably is a key player for Chelsea, and the Chelsea team has changed quite a lot this year, but they were in the Europa League the season before this. They did win it, of course. Should Chelsea have had any 100 clubs? Again, were there better choices with other teams? I think so, coming up from the Europa League. De Jong, this was the season he moved to Barcelona from that Ajax team. He did make the semi-finals. Another team getting knocked out by Tottenham. He's going to cost you 14 million if you want him in your team. And definitely a good choice. I think it's cool to have a few younger players in there, less established players, but I guess he does play for Barcelona. The only Barcelona player other than you-know-who, which we'll get to in a moment. And then our third Liverpool player, Mane. Definitely a key player for Liverpool, among so many others like Salah and Firmino. Could have been any of them really, but they've gone with Mane this time. 17 million, so quite a pricey one. And again, a Man City choice. We've got Sterling. I mean, if I was going to pick a Man City, I know it says midfielder, but he really is a forward. I would go Aguero instead of Sterling.
Would have been kind of cool to see a David Silva. That would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, David Silva in his last season as well for Man City would have been a good choice.
Well, Sterling's a good player, to be fair, so...
Yep. Mbappe was our next 100 club. So PSG famously do not do well in the Champions League, or as well as they should do. They'll be quite disappointed for their not progressing into the later stages. But Mbappe, if you're going to have the best players, you do want Mbappe, regardless of how the team performs. Mbappe is definitely 100 club worthy. And this one is a strange one for me. Son of Tottenham. I know they did get to the final, but Lucas Mora was the choice for me after the influence he had on their run to the final. Definitely should have been Lucas Mora. What do you think this is?
Yeah, I'd probably agree, really. He was quite memorable from last season. But again, Son is pretty awesome, so...
And then lastly, we do have, of course, Messi. Again, you have to have Messi in your 100 clubs, and he's the 101 for 18 million. So there are all the 100 clubs for the Match Attax main collection. Let us know which ones you think are the best, and maybe which ones you think shouldn't have been included or could have been a different player. But now we'll move on to the Match Attax Extra collection.
So here is the Extra collection, and to our knowledge this is the first collection to have a full 1100 clubs. This one actually has 12 because we do have a limited edition as well, which is absolutely awesome. So we do kick things off with All Black with the keeper for the Extra collection. I think that's a pretty awesome choice. It's a pretty decent keeper, really. So.
Yeah, nice variety, an unexpected one, I'd say, but he is one of the top keepers, definitely.
Yeah, very, very cool. And then next up we had Alexander-Arnold, so another Liverpool player. And probably I'd definitely agree with this one, to be honest.
Yeah, it was probably the quick corner that got in the 100 club.
Yeah, probably, yes.
I think it's a little bit of overkill to have both the fullbacks.
Yes, because next up...
Alexander-Arnold or Robertson.
We do have Robertson, so...
It's one or the other for me.
Yeah, because we do have Van Dijk in the main collection as well, so that's all 3 of the 4 defenders. That's really crazy.
And Alisson's in there as well, so it's more or less the whole Liverpool defence. Should we throw Matip in there?
Why not?
Lovren? Gomez?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with the Trent, but I'd probably change the Robertson, but
yeah,
they're still pretty cool cards anyway, so... Then next up we have Kimmich, which is quite an interesting choice. A nice bit of variety there.
Yeah, he now plays in midfield for Bayern Munich, though.
Yeah, so that's quite cool, isn't it? So... A nice one to add anyway. And then, talking of variety, we have Coulibaly from Napoli.
Yeah, again, Napoli, another team that were in the Europa League the season before this. A victim of Arsenal on our run to the final.
Yeah, you did really awesome and then just did nothing.
Yeah, we beat Napoli and Valencia.
Then we have Kevin De Bruyne, which is obviously an awesome choice. But again, we would have preferred to see maybe a Silva or a David Silva. Yeah. But still, pretty decent player, really. Done really well since the restart as well, so that's pretty cool. And then we have a Coutinho, which is definitely an interesting choice.
Yeah, on loan. Don't want him to renew his contract. Probably leaving, going back.
Yeah, could he be going to Arsenal?
No, he won't come.
No, probably not. Not sure you can
can't afford him. Yeah.
Yeah, but a good one anyway. And then we do have a Salah, so another Liverpool player, but a very awesome one at that.
Yeah, so we had Mane in the main collection, Salah in this, so poor old Firmino missed out.
Yeah, actually it would have been kind of cool to have the Firmino, especially with the limited edition, which we'll get to in a minute. And then we have Hazard, so quite an interesting choice again. I guess he did score the winning goal for Chelsea, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, in the final the season before, but he hasn't been performing as well for Real Madrid as he did for Chelsea. And you know, we could argue that we could have different players from different teams, but this season has proved to be the season of the youngsters breaking through. So I imagine next season might be entirely different. We might get things like Haaland,
Gnabry,
Werner.
Yeah, lots of interesting players to come through.
Yeah, so. Gnabry could have been a cool one there, actually, given what he did to Tottenham.
Yeah, pretty iconic from the season. And then we have a Lewandowski, which is an absolutely awesome one.
Yeah.
Can't argue with this one.
Having his best season this season as well, so definitely a good choice.
Yeah, very Bayern Munich heavy as well, which I guess is fitting with them winning the Bundesliga already. So, well, already it's already finished, hasn't it? But they've run it really early. And then we have Neymar, which, again, is maybe not having the best season, but he's such a massive player, so...
Yeah, PSG are still in it. They did knock out Dortmund.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Definitely worthy. And then we end with the limited edition, which is a really awesome feature for this collection. First time we've had a 101 limited edition.
For the extra. And a nice feature on the side there saying title winner. Obviously, an English team win. I think they should do that every time an English team wins.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, definitely. But interestingly, on the other 101s, all these stats here are 101 as well. But on the limited edition it isn't. I guess it doesn't really matter, but just a fun fact there. But yeah, definitely a really cool edition. And there we go, there they are all together. So, as we did with the main collection, let us know in the comments, which one do you agree with? Which one do you like the most?
And who would you have in there instead of someone that you may not agree with?
Yeah, that'd be really cool to know, so let us know in the comments.
So finally, we had the Match Attax 101 collection, which was the second Match Attax 101 collection to be released. And as you can see, the design on these are different to the other collections. These were the sticker cards where we had the sticker on the front of the card that we had to peel off to reveal the card underneath. And the top 10 of these were the 100 clubs. So we are only getting 10 100 clubs in this collection as opposed to 11 or 12 from the last one. And these were the top 10 players in the world. So it's the countdown to number 1. And they were reflective of their real life stats. So first up we have De Bruyne, which is his second 100 club of the season from Manchester City. And then we have Harry Kane. So like I said, this does go off stats of the season. But I think this season, a lot of Harry Kane's stats are from scoring penalties. So I think he's had better seasons. And I think without the penalties, he wouldn't have made the top 10 in my opinion. But he has sneaked in at number 9. And he is an Englishman along with this man, Raheem Sterling. And they are the only 2 players of the same nationality in the top 10. So the rest of them are all from different countries, which is pretty cool for the top 10 players in the world to be from all around the world. I think that's pretty cool. But like I said, number 8 is Raheem Sterling of Manchester City. And then at number 7, we have the winner of the Champions League, Sadio Mane with Liverpool. Of course, you have to include him in the top 7. He's done pretty well, I guess, if you want to say it. As an Arsenal fan, it's hard to say, but they are now the Premier League champions, of course. So well done to them. Then we have his partner in crime. We have Mo Salah, the Egyptian, the African duo. And again, you have to include him in there. Very influential on the Liverpool team.
Yeah, key players.
Then we have at number 5, Kylian Mbappe. Very young, lots to come from him. Up and coming, you might say, but already at the top at number 5. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go to number 1?
Oh, I think he might get stuck at 3.
3? Well, Messi and Ronaldo will have to retire at some point.
Yeah, true. 2 then.
Will he get stuck at 3 if he stays at PSG? That's something. Will he have to move? So that's number 5. 4, having the season of his life, as we said earlier, Robert Lewandowski. Definitely top class player.
Yeah.
And you can't really argue with him being 4th. Definitely deserves it. Is he only going to get better as he ages? Quite old now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he might start dropping down, but still an amazing player, so.
Yep, and then the top 3 we have Ronaldo, surprisingly at 3, I would say.
Yeah, and he's only 100 club for this season, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah, there's only 100 club, but like I said, surprising to be at 3. He was at 2 last year.
Yes.
Didn't quite make number 1 either way, because number 2 is, again, Van Dijk. As I said earlier, it could have been the 101 in main collection, but he's made 2nd in the world, and of course, number 1 being Messi. No one's going to knock him off his perch.
No.
The 101, as you said, with all the 101 stats down the side.
It's going to take a lot to knock him out of first place, I think.
Well, I think it'll be interesting next year to see how the up-and-comers like Haaland and people perform. I don't think they'll get to Messi levels, but you know, there's a few that might, like I said about the Mbappe.
Yeah, probably not next season. Maybe give him a few years and maybe they'll give it a go. But Messi's just next level, isn't he? So
yeah, but we'll show you all the 100 clubs. So there they are, all of the 100 clubs from the 1920 season. Let us know which of the collections was your favourite, which you think had the best group of 100 clubs.
Yeah, and which one did you enjoy collecting the most? That'd be pretty cool.
And also, like we was talking about, which player that didn't get a 100 club do you think deserves one? That'd be cool to know. Let us know that in the comments. But for today, that's going to do it. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.